Hey there, I'm professional psychic Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up Sundays for February 5th, 2023. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you to all my new subscribers. I've had more new subscribers in this last week than any week since I've been starting these videos almost 3 years ago. So many, many blessings. Thank you so much. And thank you to those of you who are sharing them with your friends and spreading the word around. So in this video, I will be talking about the transits for this upcoming week. Transits are the positions of the planets. It's like the astrological weather forecast. I will follow this video by posting 12 separate videos, one for each sign. And I'll do 3-card draws on those. And once I get them uploaded, I'll put the links below this video. So make sure you check out your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign to get the full big picture. All right, so we've got the sun in Aquarius. Earlier today, we had a full moon. It was exact at 12:28 p.m., and that's Austin, Texas time. And I want to sidestep here and just say, when I talk about when transits are exact, the times and the days, just know that we can feel transits before they happen, sometimes days or weeks before if they're eclipses, and we can feel them afterwards as well. So just because something's exact at a certain time on a certain day, like I said, you might feel it beforehand, you may be feeling it afterwards, you may very well feel it that day. So just keep that in mind. So we had the full moon, which is when the sun and the moon are opposite each other. So the sun was in Aquarius, the moon, it was in Leo. Moon is still in Leo. So we're having still the after effects of a full moon. We definitely can feel full moons beforehand and afterwards. Full moons are always times of culmination, letting go, releasing, bringing things full circle. So the sun illuminates. The sun was illuminating Aquarius, right? So Aquarius is the 11th house in the astrological wheel. This is the house of groups, networks, connections with others. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus likes to shake things up, bring in curveballs. It's the great awakener. So with the sun transiting through the sign of Aquarius, we may want to seek out new groups, new connections, new social networks. We may want to step outside the box and do things in an innovative, new way. Aquarius is about the new, right? So the moon in Leo rules the 5th house in the astrological wheel. That's the house of creativity, romance, children, our passion, what we feel from the heart. So the moon was illuminating, and still is, these aspects of Leo. So there could be inspiration about creativity. We could get inspired ideas to do things creatively. Passion, following our passions, whatever they are. Even your own childhood dreams could be falling under Leo. Anything that inspires great passion can be considered a Leo thing. So the moon, full moon illuminates, the sun is illuminating. So together we're illuminating, doing things in a unique, different way to follow our passions. That'd be one way you could draw that equation together. Another thing that was very powerful today is that the sun and the moon were squaring Uranus. Not exact, but like 1 degree off. The sun was like 1 degree off of Uranus. And Uranus, being the ruler of Aquarius, also makes it more powerful. Squares can be contentious situations. It can bring in sudden, unexpected events because it's Uranus. So we could have had things shaken up, or just have new innovative ideas come through, new innovative information coming through spiritually, getting excited about new groups to connect with. These are all different ways that could have shown up for you. Okay, and as the sun continues its transit through Aquarius, right now as I'm recording this Sunday evening, it's at 17 degrees of Aquarius. So it's a little more than halfway through. Happy birthday, by the way, if you're an Aquarian with your birthday this week. And then the moon will continue moving through Leo the rest of today. And then tomorrow at 3:14 p.m., the moon will move into Virgo. So I'm going to continue to talk about the moon transits for the week, and then I'll circle back and do some of the other planets. So the moon moving from the passionate sign of Leo. Leo's a fire sign. It's a fixed energy. And that's the other thing I'll say about these signs. Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus are all fixed signs. So there could also be things that come up where you want to stand up for yourself. Fixed signs don't like to have things change. They like to, be the boss and call the shots. So there, you could be bumping up against that kind of energy in your life, or maybe you're standing up for yourself in a more powerful way and going, nope, feels right for me. The other thing that we have in the fixed signs, the North Node is in Taurus as well, and the South Node is in Scorpio. So these four are the fixed signs: Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. So fixed energies like to know what the plan is. They like to keep things how they are. So Uranus even transiting through Taurus, and it takes about 8 years for Uranus to transit a sign. So it's about halfway through its transit. It's been in Taurus for 4 years. So it's not really comfortable in Taurus because Uranus likes to break it up and change things up and do things differently, even though it's the ruler of Aquarius, which is also a fixed sign, but it wants to be the one that comes up with the great ideas, the new ways of doing things, right? So the North Node is where we're collectively in class learning. It's what our soul wants to teach us, wants us to learn. And as it transits through Taurus, one of the most important things is to value yourself. Taurus is about what you value, who you value. Do you value yourself? It's about your valuables and how you earn your money as well. It's financial issues as well. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So then Venus becomes important in this equation. Venus representing who we love, what we love, money, finances. So there could be something unexpected that comes up with money and finances. That could be positive or negative. Like yesterday, I won $100 on a scratch off. That was surprising financial thing that came up out of nowhere. So that, even though that was yesterday before this energy was exact with the full moon, and there was a more exact square yesterday, I must have to say, between the sun and Uranus. So that's just an example of how something can come out of the blue, right, and affect, can show up in your life in different ways. So, all right, so the North Node is where we're learning things, and it's right now at 7 degrees. The South Node is always opposite that, and the South Node is our collective karma being the accumulation of all the causes we've set over many lifetimes. It's like our bank account, right? Our bank account could be in the red or the black. Karma could be positive or negative. In this case, a lot of times we're clearing out, we're letting go of karmic patterns that are no longer serving us. Scorpio energy, the South Node, releasing, and since it's Scorpio, it's the deep, dark waters. We could be releasing deep karmic patterns. Things that are deep in our psyche could be coming up to the surface. Also, since it's past lives, it could bring in people that we've known before in past lives. And I will say that just because you recognize someone feels familiar, you've known them before in a past life, until you get all the information about what that connection was and where you left off, it may or may not. It may be a really positive, fabulous thing. Y'all were lovers, you were separated, you get back together this lifetime, you're going to really want to stay together. That's one scenario. Y'all could have killed each other in a past life, and you're coming back to heal that karma, right? So it could be contentious. Anytime you encounter someone that you've known before in a past life, there's usually a very strong positive or negative reaction initially, like this sense of familiarity, right? The more psychic you are, the more aware you are, you might actually get details or information may come up. Like all of a sudden you see symbols of Egypt, for example, or Native American things or whatever. Other information can bubble up. And if you want to know more about your past lives, I do facilitate past life regressions in private sessions. So I've got the link to my website below that tells about all my services. So if you want to dive deeper in what I have to offer you, please help yourself. Okay, so South Node clearing, releasing, North Node learning. The soul wants to grow in this way. So this is like we've got these right now with the sun and moon and the North and South Node, and then Uranus is up there with Taurus as well. These are like some heavy duty fixed energy. So this can feel intensive. All right. So then tomorrow at 3:14 p.m. Austin time, the moon will move into Virgo for a couple days. And the moon takes a couple days to go through a sign. As the moon transits through the sign of Virgo, we want to be attentive to our health. We want to get things organized. We want to be helpful to others. That's the energy, that the influence we're under. So all of a sudden, you've been procrastinating on that stack of papers or cleaning out that closet or cleaning out your garage. When the moon's in Virgo, is a great time to get the motivation to just be attentive to details, right? Virgo rules the 6th house in the astrological wheel, which is the house of health, service to others, our daily life, our daily work. So as the moon moves through them, the sign of Virgo, these areas of your life are highlighted. Also tomorrow at 12:26 p.m., Mercury will sextile Neptune. Mercury's in Capricorn. It's going forward. It moves out of its shadow zone. Hallelujah. By Tuesday, Mercury is out of its shadow. So it went retrograde at the end of December, went direct in January, but it's still crawling out of its shadow. So it's been feeling like Mercury retrograde still. Computer glitchy things, phone glitchy things. In fact, we had an ice storm here in Austin this last week. I couldn't access my phone or my computer. My power stayed on, unlike hundreds of thousands of Austinites where the power was turned off. Mine stayed on, but I was like, Mercury retrograde, still in its shadow, still showing up in my life. So Mercury will sextile Neptune, which is in Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Mercury is our thoughts, our communications with others, and again, technology, phones, computers. So the sextile to Neptune can really put us in our higher mind, our spiritual, our psychic sense. Neptune can bring visions and spiritual downloads and psychic downloads. So this sextile on tomorrow, on Monday, like I said, is exact at 12:26 p.m., but you may be feeling it today already. You could feel it into Tuesday. You could have really vivid dreams. You could have realizations, all like downloads from higher self spirit. So that's a beautiful energy. Even some downloads into practical use as the moon moves through Virgo. It's like, oh wait, I know how I'm going to organize this, or I know what I could do. Like you can get just some great insights and visions around how to do that. And also just Mercury with this connection with the Neptune energy in Pisces. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So anything that's moving through Pisces is like wrapping up a cycle. So Mercury is our thoughts, right? Communication. So we could have some communications with others who are sort of wrapping up things or closing up something that's been going on for a long time, or like thought processes where we're trying to chew on something, we're trying to understand something, and then like, oh wait, no, now I get it. So that's just another way that could show up. All right, on Tuesday, the main event that I have is Venus, which is in Pisces now, is sextiling Uranus in Taurus. So Venus loves it in Pisces. It is a beautiful sign. It is exalted in Pisces. So Venus is really, really comfortable there. With Venus moving through Pisces, we can have great spiritual conversations. Great music can come about, creative things of all kinds, because Venus is not only who we love, but what we love. And it's the Venusian energy in a sextile. With Uranus. Uranus is bringing things from a higher spiritual plane. So it could like bring some, again, inspired creative ideas can come through. So there's some of that already creeping up on Monday, and then there's another expression of it on Tuesday. So this is like a great week, at least at the beginning of the week, for creative types to get inspired ideas around writing music or drawing or painting or cooking or gardening or designing clothes or whatever you do in a creative way. You can get extra inspired help with the planets this week is what I'm seeing or sensing with that. And again, Uranus can bring something unexpected. In a connection with Venus, it could be unexpected love coming in. Unexpected money coming in is another way that could come in. Unexpected downloads as well. On Wednesday, Juno, which is in Aries, is conjunct Chiron in Aries at 12 degrees and 55 minutes. So Juno is an asteroid. It's one of the biggest asteroids. These two asteroids are the two biggest asteroids in our whole solar system. So Juno and Jupiter's been close together. They started a new cycle a couple of weeks ago, and Jupiter makes things bigger, brings good luck. Juno represents committed relationships, or commitments of any kind. And Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the area where we need to heal something in order to feel stronger about it. And so the conjunction, the two of these together, could bring up an intense thing, bring up ouchy points in committed relationship. Like you could get triggered. A triggering shows you they've got something still to be healed, because once you've healed a deep wound, you don't get triggered anymore, right? People don't push your buttons. If you have a button, that button is within you and it's something you haven't healed. Other people pushing it, that's beside the point. It's your job to heal your stuff so that you don't get triggered. But here's an opportunity, if you get triggered, to be able to see, oh, look, this is an issue I need to see, so you can transform it. If you can't see it, you can't transform it. So there's an opportunity to have some healing around your commitments, the things and the people that you're deeply committed to, and have some healing going on in that relationship. And that happens on Wednesday. I have that exact at 3:28 a.m. So it happens in the middle of the night again. So you might feel this Tuesday into the day on Wednesday. You may have some vivid dreams Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, where you have some realizations or something gets sorted through in your dream state as well. On Thursday, we have the moon moving into Libra at 2:46 p.m. Libra is about relationships, about justice and fairness. So this is a beautiful energy. And then later in the day, the moon will be opposing Jupiter in Aries. And that'll happen at 7 degrees and 49 minutes. At 6:02 p.m. is when I have that. So in this case, an opposition with Jupiter makes things bigger. The moon is our intuition, our emotional thing, so it could exacerbate or exaggerate what you're feeling in terms of relationships or justice and fairness. So if something feels unfair and you encounter that, Jupiter's going to make that really bigger. If something feels lovely relationship-wise, Jupiter can make that bigger. You know, say with this Juno or the Venus sextile Uranus, you have someone new come in, then you get triggered because the commitment thing, oh, is this someone I want to commit to? And you can see where you may have woundedness from past commitments that you need to heal out. Then the moon moving through Libra can give you more insights around relationships and feeling this person out. This is just a scenario that I'm envisioning that could happen for someone. But Jupiter can bring in good luck. So it can bring a kiss when it comes to your intuition, particularly around relationships, justice and fairness, standing up for yourself, feeling like things feel balanced and equal and harmonious, or they don't. Whatever, Jupiter will exaggerate whatever it is and make it bigger. Okay, Friday, we have Mercury conjunct Pluto, and that'll happen at 28 degrees and 58 minutes. So almost to 29 is where Pluto is in Capricorn. I've talked at length about Pluto over the last couple of years. I will continue to talk about Pluto. So let me just stop a minute. Pluto in these last degrees of Capricorn, Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, right? So it dips its toe into Aquarius, the next sign, in March. On Saturday, Pluto moves to 29 degrees. So this is like on Friday, the 10th, is the last day that Pluto's at this 28 degree point. And Mercury will be conjunct it. So Pluto is death and transformation. It's secrets being revealed. It's truth being shown. And again, Mercury's our thoughts, our communication. So we could have truthful conversations or insights. Again, our brain, our mind, we could have like some transformative thoughts, transformative conversations. Power struggles could show up as well. The conjunction can just be super intensive. So, you know, it's going to be a very powerful day. It should show up in some way in your life. So Pluto in this last degrees of Capricorn. Capricorn's an earth sign. It's a cardinal sign. It's initiating things. Pluto in Capricorn has been like showing up in power over power, like top down power control issues, right? Where in this country, Pluto was at 27 degrees of Capricorn when the United States was formed, July 4th, 1776. And who were the people in power? White men who had money, right? So that was the paradigm that this country was built on. And that paradigm has shown up for over 200 years, right? In corporations, in all kinds of government businesses where the white man with the money is the one at the top calling the shots. Now that's beginning to shift and change, but that's still the old paradigm. And this old paradigm, I'll call it a Tower of Babel, is going to be brought to its knees, because what we're going to moving into, Pluto will be for 20 years plus in Aquarius. It'll dip back and forth between now and November of 2024. It'll go back and forth, and then after the election in 2024, Pluto's going to be in Aquarius to stay for the next 20 years. Aquarius is humanity. Everybody vibing together. Everybody's important. It's unique. It's innovative. It's different. Whereas Capricorn is the good old how we've always done things this way. It's solid. It's Earth. It's like this is how we do things, and Pluto is transforming. Pluto is like a wrecking ball. So whatever it encounters, it is going to transform something. So with Mercury being with Pluto on Friday, it's going to transform some of your thinking. It can transform some of your conversations. You could get into power and control struggles. Wherever you have Capricorn in your chart, you probably have already been experiencing power and control issues showing up. So if you want to know more detail about where that is for your chart, we can look at that in a private session, right? We can drill down and get more specific. I'll show you an example from my life. I've got Capricorn in the fourth house. The fourth house is the house of the mother. It's the house of family home. It's your physical home where you're living. So as Pluto has transited my fourth house, I have moved 1, 2, 3 times now. I've also had children. I have 6 children. I've had them move. I had the youngest 5 all at home in 2008, and then one by one, or the last 2 moved out together, they've moved out of the house. I've had other older kids come back in. So I've had a lot of changing in my home, Pluto transforming what my home looks like, what it looks like in what is the makeup of my home. My role as a mother has been transformed. It's the house of mother, right? Now I have no children in my home. So Pluto's really transformed that. So that's just an area that's just showing up like how it's shown up in my life. I've also, where I live, I've had power and control struggles with the people who own the place that I live. Like they, anyway, I won't go into details about that. I'm ready for that karmic pattern to be transformed as Pluto moves up. But it's like Custer's last stand on these last degrees of Pluto, of Capricorn. So Pluto moves to 29 degrees, which is called the anaretic degree. It's the last degree of the sign in any sign, and it's a testing degree. So it's kind of like getting the final exam, so it can be real intensive. It can also be a mastery. We can master what we've learned as Pluto has transformed. It's like, okay, what have you learned? What have you transformed in your own life? Have you owned your own power in your life? And how is that showing up? But there's a testing. And what I see intuitively is, as it plays out on our global scale in world governments all over, mass protests are happening not just in our country, but they're happening in Argentina and Peru and like all over the globe. They're having this power and control. We have a war going on. That is certainly an example of power and control issues happening and reaching ahead. So anybody who's holding on to their power and lording power over others, those paradigms are going to be brought to their knees over these next 2 years, between now and the end of 2024. So expect the people who have been in those positions of power not to give that up easily and to go with a huge fight. And that's what I really see. Especially we're seeing it play out in our government with this huge division between the two political parties. I think it's ridiculous that this country of such diversity has, I'm going to try to divide everybody into two camps. Like, that ain't happening. That's where I'm looking forward to Aquarius, where we're all going to work to try to get together. That's how the good parts of Aquarius as I see us moving into it. But, you know, over this next month, as Pluto moves to this last degree, so it's going to be at this last degree of Capricorn from Saturday the 11th until I have it March 23rd is when it moves into Aquarius. You know, maybe give or take depending on where you live on the planet. But so for over a month, we're going to have Pluto at this last degree. So I think showdowns in Congress are going to be just, and like power, like just think of how many mass shootings we've already had this year. We've had more mass shootings than we've had days of the year already. So that's like, people who feel powerless often is the ones wielding those mass assault rifles and taking as many people out as they can. That is also Pluto's death and transformation, power and control. So this is like someone trying to feel more powerful in their life. These people that are taking out multiple people or attacking others are trying to feel more powerful. So this is another negative way where it's showing up. So it's going to be intensive, it feels like to me, with Pluto at this last degree. The other thing that kind of ties into that is that the moon on Saturday will move into Scorpio, and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So that happens at 12:34 p.m. on Saturday. Pluto will move to 29 degrees that same day. So we already had Mercury conjunct Pluto the day before on Friday. So that's going to be transformative, and it could also be arguments happening because Mercury is communication, so it could be fights and brouhaha, you know, secrets revealed, truth being revealed, and then the moon moves into Scorpio, which is super intensive, very psychic, plumbing the depths of emotion. Moon moving through Scorpio, because it's ruled by Pluto, that's a time when secrets can be revealed, truths can be revealed. So Pluto at 29 degrees and the moon in Scorpio, it's going to make for a very intense weekend next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And then one other thing I have to point out is next Sunday on the 12th, the moon will be opposing Uranus and Taurus. That happens at 4:42 p.m. next Sunday on the 12th. Again, sudden unexpected things, intuitive things. So I want to also give a shout out to my daily 1-minute videos that I post here on YouTube, and I post them on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, where I look at the most important transits of every day in the morning, and I draw a card and I talk about the transit or transits of the day that are important and draw a card and talk about it. So if you want to check in on a daily basis, I'll be highlighting those on my 1-minute videos. So make sure you check those out. So that's all I have written down for the transits for this week. It looks like it's more beautiful and etheric and great insights and beautiful things at the beginning of the week. It looks towards the end of the week, it can get intensive. So just know that. It's good to know that there's a chance of tornadoes or thunderstorms, right? You don't want to plan a picnic on that day. If you're going to have deep level conversations and you want them to go well, you might want to do that earlier in the week and not wait till later in the week. Just saying. All right, so make sure you check out your individual signs, sun, moon, and risings. I'll do a 3-card draw this week, and when I get them posted, I'll put them below this video. Have a great week. Peace.